Okay, I'm up here. Hey. All right. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, okay.
Hear
Let's
me
see.
on here?
I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Why is this not working?
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Oh,
There
you
we
got some wine? I
go. Yeah.
don't.
What are you gonna be sipping?
Tea?
Oh, okay.
Tea.
I got some wine. I'm an alcoholic, so I'll be pouring. You're supposed to be like this much, but I
That's all right. There's no judgment here.
always feel like, why are you pour a little bit when you gonna drink the whole bottle anyway?
Right. Well, maybe not all at one time, sip and savor.
Nah, I usually, if I'm drinking by myself, I drink the whole bottle.
What kind of wine you got?
It is oak leaf, vineyard, white, Zinfandel.
Okay.
I don't really know much about wine. I just like sweet wine.
Me too. But I kind of like the older I get, the nastier wine I like. Like if it tastes like dirt, I'm like, yeah, that's good.
I can't do it. Like the red wine, if it's not sweet, it tastes like vinegar to me.
Mm, okay, that makes sense. All right, well, as soon as you, oh, hey, Brandon, it's like a little lag, but on Instagram I can see a few people happening. All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Nice work. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Wine and Paint podcast. Haven't been here in a minute, but thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to talk to one of my best friends from for the past 20 years. Good grief. For the past 20
Damn.
years. Yes, we're going to talk to Laura Baxley. She's going to tell us who she is, and we're going to ask her some cool questions about being a madre in the Navy.
I'm Laura. I am a mom in the Navy. I have two kids, 2 years old and 6 months. Yeah, he's 6 months. Um, I'm active duty. My husband's active duty. He's deployed right now. So it's just me and the kids been rocking for 5.5 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Um, what else? I'm a logistics specialist. So I order stuff all day. It's pretty much what I do. Yeah. That's
Nice.
about me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you three questions. Oh, one of our viewers, Brandon, Roosevelt's brother, he said, thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
Yes. So, okay, I'm going to ask you three quick questions so we can get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
Would you rather eat breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Okay.
Breakfast for sure.
What's your favorite breakfast food?
Um, damn, that's hard. I'm gonna have to say probably like an egg and like sausage sandwich. That's like my go-to.
Hmm. Yeah, I like French toast. If I can make it a sandwich,
I
I
like French toast too, but I don't like sweet for breakfast all the time. So like if I had to eat the same thing every day, it would be like a sausage and egg sandwich.
okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Are you an early bird or you rather stay out late?
Early bird. Y'all already know. I'm like programmed now since I've been in the Navy to be up. Like sleeping in to me is like 8 o'clock.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's right. I used to think when we were younger, I would get up really early because my dad would have to drive the bus, and every all my friends would be asleep. But now Laura gets up way earlier than me. It's crazy.
Yeah. I get up at like 6, even on my off days.
It's like your body's like, if I try to sleep in, my body's like, nah,
Yeah.
we're getting
You get
up.
used to it. And
Yeah.
then like, cause you're so used to getting up early, you be ready to go to bed early too. Like
Yeah.
if I go to bed after 10 o'clock, I'm no good.
Yeah. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna continue to do my podcast, but I gotta start at 7 because I'll be tired.
Yeah.
I'll be tired. Okay, one more question. The first thing I think of in the morning is blank.
What time I'm getting off?
Yeah.
How can I get off earlier?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I get up and be like, just look around and be like, dang, what I gotta do today? How
Right. And then
long
you
can I
just like
stay up?
contemplating like this process in the day you about to have.
Yeah.
I just be like, what if I didn't go to work today? It wouldn't be good.
No good. Then it just starts a cycle, getting late, and be like your friend.
Oh, I gotta tell you. Oh, I did tell you about that. Okay. Yeah,
Oh my
that's wild.
goodness. Can't wait to see how that turns out. But all right. Okay, so tonight I'm gonna be using markers, a little bit of paint. What are you gonna be creating with?
So I have some stuff that I bought a while ago that I was
Okay.
gonna do something with that I never did. So I got like acrylic paint, and this is actually says acrylic ink. So I don't even know if I have the right stuff, but I'm just about to do something. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna. I'm just about to be mixing colors around for on the canvas.
Okay, that sounds good. That
Some
sounds nice to
abstract
me. All right,
stuff.
bet. Cool. Okay, so use 3 words to describe what it's like to be a mom, especially being in the military. What's that like? 3 words.
Stressful,
Mm,
hectic, and exhausting.
yeah.
Yes.
So you take care of a bunch of people being in the military and then having your 2 kids and your husband, but who takes care of you? Who takes care of Laura?
Mm. I should say me, but I don't know. It's hard. I have to remind myself to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Um, my husband too. So he does his part, but no one takes care of you how you take care of them. I feel like
Right.
this the person I am. I feel like no one could ever take care of me how I take care of them. But yeah, I try to take care of myself as much as I can.
Yeah, that's important. It's doing all the things and then just look up and be like, dang, I ain't
Yeah.
do shit for me. So what are 3 things you do to ensure you take care of yourself?
Um, I try to take advantage of like the days I have off.
Mhm.
So I take the kids to daycare and I just try to get stuff done. I need to get my hair done. I plan everything on Fridays and I look forward to them Fridays, but I will get my hair done, make my nails done.
Yeah.
Um, I put them to bed early because we get up early. So 7 o'clock, they're in the bed, and I usually take an hour just to come downstairs, scroll on TikTok, just decompress. Like I gotta try to steal moments when I can. Like when they're napping, I try to just, even though I'd be wanting to be like, dang, I need to do this, I need to do this. I'd be having to force myself to just take a break.
Yeah. So like what if one kid is up and the other kid goes to sleep? What happens
They
then?
both go to sleep. They are on a schedule.
Okay.
One might fall asleep earlier than the other, but like I put them in the room. Cameron is she's a crier. She don't want to go to sleep, but she knows she's tired. So I
Right.
really just let them cry it out, and they down in like 10 minutes. Bryce, he be ready to go to sleep, so I have no issue with him. It's Cameron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This brings me to my next question. Who's your favorite child?
I don't have a favorite. They're both different. Like I don't have a favorite.
Okay. All right. Well, did you always see yourself as a mom? Did you always want to be a mommy?
So I did, but I didn't. Like I grew up taking care of kids. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, you know that.
Right.
So I always was like, if I have kids, like I could see myself having kids, but I couldn't see myself, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like it wasn't something I was like looking forward to planning to have kids, but I was like, if I have kids, like it'd be all right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just if it happens, it's whatever.
Yeah. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to have kids one day.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I find myself, I'm like, all right, well, if that happens, that's cool. But then sometimes it's like, I guess because I'm getting older, I'm like, I gotta have kids. But
Yeah.
then I see people and I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, you see what I go through.
No, your kids are cool. Your
What they
kids are
want to
cool.
be.
I feel like your kids are one of the reasons why we would decide to have kids because they're really cool. They're cool. They're one of our favorite sets of nieces and nephews. How about that?
Aw.
Yeah. So, what led you to join the Navy?
So I just felt like so unfulfilled in life. I was 24. I had went to college for a little bit, came home. I was still doing school online, like on and off,
Mm-hmm.
working at Target, and I just felt like I was just felt stuck and very like comfortable just at home. I feel like I needed had to get out of Alexandria.
Hmm.
Um, and then like my family, I always had them to rely on for everything. So I just
Hmm.
felt really stuck. And I was like, I wanna, try something different. I
Right.
didn't know if I wanted to go back to school like full time. And then I knew people that were in the military. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe I can join the Air Force or something. Right. So I went to the recruiter to get more
Yeah.
information about the Air Force, and nobody was there. Like it's a thing, I guess the Air Force, like they don't be recruiting.
Hey.
So no one was there. A Navy recruiter was there, and he was like, "Well, they're not here, so let me tell you about the Navy." And
Okay.
he sold me on it,
Hmm.
and I'm glad I joined the Navy because I heard the Air Force their duty stations are kind of trash.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you feel like you have more direction and more clarity now that you're in the Navy?
Yeah, like I felt like I was actually like doing something with my life.
Okay.
Um, because I always had like this plan, like go to college, and I was always
Mm-hmm.
about school and stuff, and then just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Really, joining the Navy was like really something I did for myself, and not because people expected me to do it.
Yeah.
And then just being independent, like leaving Alexandria, I got stationed in Norfolk. I didn't have a license, so this was the first time I was like by myself. I didn't have my dad or you or Natalie
Yeah.
or whoever I was dating at the time to drive me around. So I ended up getting my license finally, getting a car. Like I just felt so independent, just getting away.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I could see a total change in you. That's
Yeah,
good. Definitely proud. So like what's been the most enjoyable experience being a part of the Navy?
just being able to travel. Like
Hmm.
I've been to some places that I probably would have never been able to go to. Like
Like
just traveling, meeting people. Like I have friends all over the country now, just
yeah,
that I met from my time in, and it's just a cool experience.
that's good. What's your favorite place? Like top two places you've been?
Probably Egypt because I got to go see the pyramids and the Sphinx, and Dubai was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Mm. Yeah, I've definitely dreamt about going there. That's dope.
Yeah, that was like on my bucket list. I was excited to go there.
So I know you mentioned Brandon, or sorry, your husband being on
Okay.
deployment. So how do you cope with that? Like I get stressed out when I'm away from Rob for like longer than a weekend. So
This is actually we've been apart before. Like when we got married, our first year of marriage was long distance. I
Mm-hmm.
was deployed. So this is the first time that he's been the one deployed, so I'm the one home having to deal with him being gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an adjustment because now we have kids. Before, when we did deployments, we were single, so it was like, just come home, worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely just been taking it day by day, especially with the kids. Like it's been hard, but just like being able to talk to him now on the ship.
Yeah.
Um, they have Wi-Fi, so we text almost every day. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is down,
Mm-hmm.
but it's nice at least being able to hear from him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just day by day, really. Every day is different.
Yeah. Well, it's almost over, right? It's almost
It is almost. Can't
good.
say when, but it's
Yeah.
almost over.
All right, bet. Well, that's good. So if you weren't able to know specific details about your husband's job, would that stop you from like being with him?
No. Well, I think because I was in the Navy also, I kind
Okay.
of knew how things go. Maybe if I was civilian, that kind of, I don't know. I don't think it would.
Hmm.
It would make it tougher. His job isn't really like he's a cook, so he don't be doing nothing top secret that I can't know about.
Okay.
So we're fine in that aspect, but um, I don't know. I think I would just roll with it. But like, you know.
Yeah, my sister told me a story about some couple she knew they couldn't know anything that the other was doing. Like they couldn't talk about their jobs at all.
But it's funny though, because you be like, you're not supposed to talk about your job, but people in the Navy be telling secrets all the time. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, especially if it's your husband, you can be like, I know he ain't gonna tell nobody.
right.
Like, we be letting each other know stuff that we ain't supposed to be saying.
As you should.
These are
Look
the same colors. No, they're not. They're different.
look different in the lake. Okay, so you talked about what's the most enjoyable thing in the Navy. What about being a mom? What's the most enjoyable thing about that?
I think just watching them grow up and develop, like Cameron's at that age where she's learning a lot. And every day she's like saying something new. It's surprising me. It's just cool to see.
Yeah,
Like she'll just call out a color one day or a shape one day, and I'd be like, "Whoa, what the heck?" And I know she's learning all this in daycare, so it's
mhm.
just like crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, she's so smart. I say that every time she does something, I'm like, my baby's so smart. I think that's probably like the best part, just watching them grow and learn.
Yeah. Dang, and it's like it's time. Time is going by so fast. Just seeing them just different every day, like you said. 'Cause-
It's crazy because Bryce, he's growing up so fast. But now that I have two,
Mhm.
every milestone that he hits, I'm just like, dang, I remember when Cameron was this small. I remember when she was doing this. Like, it's crazy
Yeah,
how fast they grow up and develop.
so fast. It's time for another one, right?
No. Definitely not.
So you touched on it a little bit, like it's stressful, hectic. But what's one of the hardest things about being a mom?
um, Definitely missing stuff. I just feel like I work 10-hour days,
Mhm.
only 4 days a week, but it's still long days. So they're at daycare for most of the day. So it's like other people are raising your kids, really. Like
Hmm.
this Bryce, he's at the age too, because Cameron, she was home with us for like the first like 6, 7 months before she went to daycare. So
Hmm.
like either me or Brandon were home for all those things. But
Yeah.
Bryce, he went to daycare at 4 months. Um, and like he was starting to crawl a little bit. So I'm like, dang, I might miss him when he starts crawling. But I caught like glimpse of it, so it wasn't that bad. But it's just like, what if he starts walking at daycare and I miss it? That's
Right.
just the part that. I'm just kind of like sad about, but it's like don't have a choice and we have to work.
Yeah, got to eat. Yeah. So, what? Speaking of missing stuff, so how do you? I know your kids are really young right now, but how do you guys plan to explain deployment to your kids?
If we're in that long where we have to explain it to them, I hope that I'm not.
Mhm.
Basically, just explain like this is mommy and daddy's job. We're gonna be gone for a little bit, but we'll be able to talk on the phone,
Yeah.
send videos. Just try to explain it because they're young, so they're probably not really gonna understand. But Cameron really doesn't understand now. She will see him on videos, but I don't think she realizes like he's gone.
Right.
Like, cause she doesn't. She's not really talking yet. She is a little bit, but she's not really expressing like "Daddy, I miss Daddy." She doesn't
Yeah.
say stuff like that. Um, but yeah, hopefully they'll understand. Like, mommy or daddy has to go for a little bit, and they'll be back.
Okay. So, how do you how do you balance all the responsibilities you got going on over there and then still be a family like or a person, period.
It's
You
a
know?
lot. What helps me is like a schedule, sticking to a schedule.
Mhm.
Like I try to stick to a schedule like to a T. Like I meal prep for me. Cameron kind of has the same snacks and whatever she likes to eat.
Mhm.
So it just helps them. Like I work 4 days a week, so that Monday through Thursday is the same every day. Wake up, get the kids ready, go to work, come home. I work long hours, so when we come home, it's like dinner and bedtime. And then during the weekends, kind of, I just have been trying to get out and do stuff with the kids, just for my sanity.
Right.
um, so that helps. Just have a little break from the routine and then kind of like reset to just like get back into the routine for the week.
Okay. So, have you ever noticed any differences in like how you prepare for when to so you said this is the first time this has happened like deployment for him like him going away, so
Yeah.
you notice any like differences in your household or just with you preparing for that?
Um, Differences in the household. To be honest, the household runs a lot smoother than being gone because I don't got to worry about cleaning up after him on top of the kids,
Right.
cooking all the time for him.
Dang.
The house stay clean longer. Uh, and then like our relationship is actually a lot better too. Like with him being gone because of like absence makes the heart grow fonder or whatever.
Yeah.
So like we haven't fought about dumb stuff because he's gone. There's nothing to fight about.
Right.
And it's been nice. We miss each other.
Yeah. A little appreciation, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Now he
That's,
said when he get back, he was like, "You gonna start an argument as soon as I get back." So I'm like, "Hey, just live in the moment, okay?"
it's always something. So, can you share a specific moment or experience from your journey that took a toll on your mental health and how you learned to navigate through that? Or is it something you're still learning to navigate through?
Definitely something I'm still learning. There was a time when I was on the ship that when I joined the Navy, I was older, so I was like, I want to join the Navy. I want to make rank, and I've always had this attitude where like I can do everything.
Yeah.
So I'm doing everything and not realizing like the toll that's taken on me. And after a while, it got to be too much. But me like not knowing how to ask for help, it just kind of built up to the point where I was having panic attacks like at work,
Mm.
like to the point where they were like, "You need to go see somebody." So I did. and it definitely helped. But definitely learning how to ask for help and
Mhm.
tell people like I'm not okay, I
Right.
need this. Like that definitely helped. Um, yeah, and luckily, you know, could go either way. But I had a chain of command that actually cared about me. They
Right.
actually let me take a step back from a lot of the stuff I was doing and let me go. You know, when I had these appointments to do, like they gave me the freedom because they cared about me. So that definitely helped a lot. But I'm still just like taking it one day at a time. I get stressed out all the time. I have to remind myself like it's gonna be all right. Just relax.
Hmm.
I need a break. You know, take a break. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is tough though,
Damn. Yeah.
especially in the military. Sorry,
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
especially in the military, it's just like it's like this thing where you don't want to be looked at as weak. I guess it's like old Navy versus new Navy. Like people
Damn.
that have been in for years, they think like the new Navy is weak. You know, because mental health wasn't really something that they dealt with back then. I guess.
Right.
So it's like that's something also I was like, well, I don't want them to think like I'm just doing this so I can get off the ship or I can get out the Navy. Because a lot of people do that. Like they get in the Navy, they don't want to be in the Navy or the military, and they use like mental health to get out. Like they say,
Right.
oh, I'm depressed, I'm crazy, and they use that to get out the Navy. Where it's become like this joke kind of where people are like, well, just they'll go to the fifth floor and they'll get you out. Like so,
Mhm.
people are kind of like hesitant to get help because they don't want to be looked at like somebody that's just doing it to like dodge their responsibility to get out.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask because I know when you like going into the services or some services, I guess, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. Like if you have mental health issues and stuff, you can't really join. Uh, right? Is that correct?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of stuff that can prevent you from joining, like medical wise. Um, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But
Yes.
I mean, that I don't see why that wouldn't be because you could have a bad knee and they won't let you join. So definitely, probably that's something.
Dang. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, is that just something that's readily available? Like, if you needed help in that capacity, could you just go find someone? But I guess
Yeah,
people would be
definitely.
okay. Okay. Well, that's good. At least, cause, but I guess people would be ashamed. Like, dang, old Bertha over there is gonna say I'm pretty weak if I go to the
Yeah.
to get help and stuff. That sucks.
It's sad. It is sad. There was a, I'm not gonna say who, but there was someone when I was on the ship that pretty much told us like we're weak and we need to suck it up.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't like this man, and that just kind of was like this. I knew why I didn't like you.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be taken seriously. I
Yeah.
mean, and then you just wait until somebody gets home and they're all fucked up. What's
Hmm.
up? Hmm. So have you been able to put specific rituals in place to make things run smoothly during this time? You said the house is cleaner and all that stuff, so I guess so.
Yeah, I try to keep them on a schedule because when they don't go to bed on time, that gives me my free time is out the window. Um, I get up. I work the same hours every day, so I get up. And sometimes I get up earlier. You know, we get up and we work out together. Sometimes I will get up like an hour before we work out to like do something, you know, just to get it out the way while the kids are asleep.
Okay.
Um, and then the weekends, like this weekend, I have a long weekend, so I kind of stretched out some stuff over each day, like doing laundry, cleaning the kids' room.
Hmm.
So yeah, just trying not to do everything at once helps. Try to stretch it out
Mm.
over the
That's
week. Even sometime during the week, I
yeah.
might just take a room and be like, let me clean. So I don't have to do it on the weekend.
Yeah. That's why I try to tell myself, like, you don't got to do it all today. If you don't do it
Yeah.
all today, it's okay. Like, you did one or two things on this list of long as all this stuff to do. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. How do you just fight that feeling or that urge to be like, I didn't do enough today?
Um, Actually, Brandon, he said something to me one day. He was like, "You don't have to do everything." He basically was like, "You don't have to do everything. Like it's gonna get done."
Yeah.
And he was like, he makes fun of me because I'm always want the house to be clean. And he was like, "We live here. Like we have kids. Like the house is not always going to be clean."
Y'all, her house looks like a hotel, like nicer than a 5-star resort. Like it really does. And she has 2 children. It looks immaculate. Like
Thank you. But sometimes I just am like, Cameron, she likes to take her toys all over the house. So I just litter. Sometimes I just don't. I just don't try to be perfect all the time. I'm learning how to not do that. Like I can leave dishes in the sink until the morning.
mm-hmm.
I got
Oh,
laundry on my bed right now that I still need to fold. So,
that's growth.
yeah,
That's growth. That them dishes.
yeah.
You
I
you
don't like I don't like my house to look lived in. Like after I cook, I gotta clean up. Like I don't know why I'm like this. But I feel so satisfied just walking through and the house is clean.
Yeah, I mean it does make you feel better. Like I think like I'm not like a complete slob, but I'm junky. And I know it messes with my head, but I clean up to the point where I can move around, but it still leaves too many options for my mind, like to be like, oh, do this or do that. So it is a lot better when it's clean.
I think I just like to stay busy. I don't know.
Mm.
Like I don't know. I just can't relax. Don't know why. I just like to stay busy.
I have the same issue. Like I can't just be still. Like I'm like I gotta draw or be doing something or looking something up. Yeah. And that was cleaning too. If I see something, I'm like, all right, I gotta get that up right there. But it will be there. Um, so, what support systems have been helpful to you during this time specifically?
My family and Brandon's family, like his parents, if I need them to take the kids, they'll
Mhm.
take them for like 2 weeks, and then turn around and be like, "When they coming back?" And be like, "Shoot, whenever y'all want them." But
That's
yeah,
good.
that's been helpful. And then anytime I need just like a mini break, say I don't want to send the kids away, I know I can go home. And my
Mhm.
parents, they'll keep the kids while I go out and do whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been really helpful, just having them that I can rely on. Even my siblings, like if I come home, I
Mhm.
know my siblings, they don't see my kids a lot, so they don't mind watching them if I ask them to.
It's payback time.
Yeah, definitely.
So they don't mind at all. That's good. That's
Yeah.
what would you say to moms that aren't even in the service, maybe like that don't have that support system or have trouble finding it?
Ooh. Um, Dang, that's a good question. I would say, if you don't have the family, maybe try to make friends, whether it's at work or
Mhm.
just there's a lot of resources out here. I actually came across like a Facebook, there's an Instagram group for like women that want to go walking in Norfolk. They just get together and go on walks. Like they bring the kids and just go on walks, I guess. Just get out the house and exercise. Um, but Facebook, there's a lot of groups on Facebook. I actually just joined a mom group on Facebook too.
Nice.
Um, but I was just trying to find help where you can.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I mean, it's out there because it's just like you. There's other moms just like you that probably are looking for somebody to help.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Look around. Look, call some
Yeah,
people. Talk to some people. So I know you said it's been 5 months, you said, for deployment?
yeah, 5, yes, 5 months.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to you want to stab your eye out, how bad has it been to go without sex for this long? Like this time?
Um, this time it hasn't been bad because the kids keep me busy. Like I'll be too exhausted at the end of the day to even be thinking about that. So it hasn't been bad.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it hasn't been bad at all, surprisingly. And then I
All
just had a baby too, so that wasn't. I was like, don't even touch me before he left.
right.
I was like, no. So that was something too. So it's I would say a 3, probably a
Okay.
3. There are times where I'm like, I see like lovey dovey stuff on like TVs or movies. I'm like, damn, I miss my man.
Yeah.
But no, it's not bad. I'm
Okay.
ready for it to be home now.
Yeah. Oh, I think I already asked you this question. Yeah, so I did see something that if you've been treated for anxiety or depression within the past 36 months, you can't join the military. But you said it's easy to get help once you're in. So
Yeah.
that's good to know though. Are you familiar with the Navy Times mental health playbook as a leader in the military?
I'm not familiar with
Okay.
that.
I think it's just like I was gonna ask you if it was garbage or like it actually helped people to de-escalate things like that. But
I think the Navy is getting better. It's been a lot of suicides recently.
mhm,
So I think they are trying to get better with like helping with helping with mental health issue,
yeah,
but at the same time, like it's gonna take a while for them to actually get it right because still I just feel like the Navy, it's all about the mission.
mhm,
Like it's sad, but we're all bodies that can be replaced,
yeah.
you
Well,
know.
yeah,
So I hope they get better, but I mean there are resources out there, but it's like they do a what is it? They'll do like every now and then, like people will come to your command, and they'll have like discussions about mental health. They'll talk about the resources, just so it's out there and it's people know about it. But I feel like they need to have more training on like I guess
yeah,
knowing the signs. Like it shouldn't get to the point where someone's trying to kill themselves before you realize like, oh, this person,
right.
should need some help. I feel like it's not until something happens where they react.
Hmm. It's like that out here too.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does out here too. That's what me and Rob were just talking about today. One of his closest friends. Oh, one of our closest friends committed suicide, and just it's like, yeah, why don't we never stop to be like, hey, maybe this person's not okay until
Yeah.
it's too late. So hopefully we can all have more conversations about tough things sooner.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah. So if you had to guess, I only got a few more questions. So thank you so much for being here and
No
doing this.
problem.
It's a lot of fun. So if you had to guess which military branch had the highest rate of depression, which one would it be?
Probably the Army or the Marines.
Yeah, it's the Marines.
It is. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the Marines.
I just feel like they get put in a lot more dangerous situations. I feel like so I can see how.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I when I was in ROTC, that's the branch it was in, the branch it was under or whatever.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of different stories that I heard. I was like, I can't do this
Yeah.
at all. That's wild. So one more question. I read a quote from a mother in Norfolk who stated that the military adds just a whole lot of stress and everything is so inconsistent. You can't be on your own time. You really can't make plans. Nothing is set in stone. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a little easier when you're on shore duty versus being on a ship. But yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Hmm.
For sure. But you
I
never
thought,
know. Like,
hmm.
stuff changes so quickly. So when you have a family, it's you just kind of have to adjust. Luckily, with us both being in, we always have this balance where one of us is always going to be on shore duty, home.
Hmm.
Kids will always have a parent at home. Um,
That's good.
but unfortunately, for like single parents in the military that are on a ship that get deployed, or you know, it's crazy how you just have to roll with the punches.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, what if you don't have a spouse or daycare or none of that shit? Like, what do you do?
Um, so it depends. So you actually are supposed to have a family care plan. So if you get
Okay.
deployed or anything, you basically have to write up this plan and tell the Navy like who is going to take care of your kids if you get deployed or whatever.
Right.
So um, everyone that has kids who I think if you're a single parent or mill to mill. So if your spouse is a civilian, you don't have to have a family care plan because your spouse that's a civilian is expected to be the person to keep your kids.
Hmm.
But for me, since we're both in, we have to have a family care plan. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, we have that in place if we ever need it, but it won't happen. So
Okay. Well, that's good. I thought it would be, I don't know why I thought that you would get like a whole, like a monthly schedule, like, yeah, be here at this time and it will help to be, I don't know. I don't know. No why.
well, on a ship, they kind of tell you like we're planning on deploying here, and we're supposed to be gone for these many months, but it could change. For example, today I found out Brandon, their ship was supposed to be pulling into their last port visit tomorrow, but
Hmm.
because of everything that's going on with Israel right now,
Yeah.
they got tasked to go somewhere else, so they can't pull in. Who
Okay.
knows if they come back on time? We're still waiting to hear about that, but things could change.
Okay.
So
That's why I
yeah,
was trying to ask if you guys were being affected by that. Man,
yeah. We just found out today. It's crazy because stuff always happens towards the end of the deployment, and it's like
of
it's
course.
crazy. Yeah, but yeah, we'll just be rolling with the punches. I'm just gonna be here waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there anything you would like to share with us? Any advice you would like to give to moms? Period. Try to stop doing everything at once.
Yes, take it a day at a time. You're doing great. I tell myself that all the time. My kids are healthy and happy. I'm healthy and happy. My husband's healthy and he might not be happy because he's deployed, but he's somewhat happy. And it's like everything will be okay. And that's something I tell myself all the time, which is crazy because I be stressing about stuff, but stuff always works out for me. Like
Yeah.
God be looking out for me. Like I could be worried about something and it just works out. So I
Yeah.
gotta tell myself to stop worrying, but I feel like worrying is what makes it work out. So I don't know, but yeah, stuff always works out.
Okay. Yeah, I got to tell myself the same thing as well. I'm just like, you know what? I could have just spent my energy on something else, planning if this did work out. But
Yeah,
it's hard to tell yourself that in the moment. For me, anyway.
yeah. When you look back on it, you're like one time I got a flat tire coming home. Like I was in Newport News. I was like 45 minutes from home, And I was like, dang. And they told me I had to replace all my tires because I guess the tread was low. And they were like, if you replace one, like you get into an accident or something. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of money to replace all my tires. I have an SUV and I was kind of tight about it. But then I was like, at least I was in the position to do that. Like I had the money to do it.
Yeah,
And I travel a lot. So I was like, I don't want to get in an accident with me and my kids. So if I needed them, I'm glad I could get them, you know.
you're right.
And who knows, like maybe if that didn't happen, something would have happened, you know, God forbid, something would have happened if I didn't get new tires. So maybe that
Exactly.
was just what I needed.
Yeah. You got to shift your perspective. That's what I've been telling myself. Like, how I commute daily is not particularly how I don't really like it. I don't like taking the train.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you know what? Thank God I can do this. Thank God I can get up and go do this. Thank God I can go to a place and get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because at one point in time I couldn't or whatever. So, yeah, even like when I got to pay bills and stuff, I'm like, dang. Or Rob will remind me, like, remember when we only had like $200 and
Right.
now we can pay this bill 5 or 6 times. So
Like you
it's
have
okay.
bills to pay, but you have the money to pay them, and like you have a like you're paying rent, but you have a place to live. You know,
Yeah,
you gotta buy groceries, but you have food. You
exactly.
know, it's yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, change that thing. Change that perspective.
Hmm.
All right. Well, look, okay, I didn't finish my piece, but it's
That
traditional. You're supposed to look at it and tell me what
looks really good. I thought you were drawing a spider at first.
you. Thank you.
So this is whatever the it's still wet.
I like I like it. I'm gonna call it flower explosion. I'm gonna call it just relax. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Right. Go with the flow. Hold on, let
Yeah,
me try to do for a
yeah.
drip. For it drips
There we
down.
go. Go with the flow. That's it right there. What you gonna call this one?
Um, the multitasker. Because she has
Ooh,
a lot of arms. She's doing a lot.
cool. Yeah, because I need to add like I'm gonna put money in her hands and like some food, other stuff. All right, that the multitasker. That's what I'm gonna call it. Okay. Well, anything else you like to share or add or say before we head on out?
Um, I don't think so. You asked some good questions.
Well, thank you.
Definitely did. I'm glad we can have this little conversation.
Yeah, man, this was great. I miss you, of
I
course.
miss you too. Y'all gotta come back down.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking to Rob about. Thanksgiving
Oh yeah, I am cooking for Thanksgiving.
looks good. I need a dump cake.
I'm gonna make a dumb cake too.
Yeah, I'm putting an order right
All
now.
right.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks, Pronoun Creative. I see you. Hey, L Boogie. Hey, all of you guys for tuning in. Thanks. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much, Laura. Love y'all.
Thank
Peace.
you. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.